Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So, today we are going to provide a little update on a Thanksgiving dinner. The woman whose uncle called her princess and a stupid girl provided us with an update. Now, I'm just going to tell the beginning of the story and then I'll directly read the end for you. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, a woman sent in a message asking for help with ruining Thanksgiving dinner. She wanted to make the case for reparations, and I gave her a formula to try to make that. She more or less stuck to it. She said as soon as she showed up and walked in that Uncle Bob started in on her, asking her what she thought about Biden's settlement payments down on the border. She didn't take the bait because that wasn't part of the plan. So her and her cousin went over to her dad's house, who is right next door to Grandma. And they hung out over there for a while, and she told her cousin what she was planning. And then when she went back over, she found Uncle Bob and said, hey, you know what? I've kind of changed my mind on government spending, and started talking about Agent Orange and how she didn't think that those benefits, those payments, that compensation should go to the survivors. Now, that hit a little bit closer to home than I had actually planned. It wasn't something that he was just aware of. Apparently, one of his friends was lost to Agent Orange, and the payment, compensation, went to the spouse just before she passed. So he went off on her and berated her and basically said that if it wasn't for that payment, well, those kids, that they'd be in a real bad way. And she said, well, they could just pull themselves up by their bootstraps, which went over exactly as you would imagine. He said she was entitled, ungrateful, and spoiled, and called her a female dog. At which point, Grandma walked in the room and sat down in a chair. Now, the author of our story, out of respect for Grandma, stopped talking. Uncle Bob did not. Uncle Bob went off about how she didn't understand anything because she was part of the younger generation that had everything handed to them and doesn't understand that it can take 20 years with everything going right to get out of poverty. At which point she deviates from the script a little bit and just says, good, now do reparations for slavery and segregation. Uncle Bob turned red. Uncle Bob did not like this at all, did not like having his own words used against him. And he went on a little rant that ended with asking her if she was really comparing American soldiers to lazy black people. Only he didn't say black people. Grandma shot up out of her chair and informed him that he was not going to talk like that in her presence. Didn't matter how old he was. And that this conversation was over until after dinner. So they went to their separate corners and just kind of stayed out of each other's way until dinner. They had dinner, and everything was fine. Nice big table, lots of food, past the gravy and all of that. And then she pushed her plate away and asked him if he knew why what I said bothered him so much. He said, no, ma'am, very politely, because he was going to play the victim. She said it's because she used your own words to shove a mirror into that ugly face of yours, and you didn't like what you saw. You haven't been happy or done anything since you left the Army, and you need to look down your nose at people to feel better. And those idiots on TV will always tell you who you're better than, as long as they can sell you something else along with it. Those hateful people have changed you. I like Grandma. Then she turned to me and asked if I knew what I'd done wrong. I said no. She said I had spent time arguing with somebody I should have just slapped the second he called me a B word. Then she got up from the table and went to the living room without another word. I felt bad afterward for causing a scene, and I told her I was sorry. She told me to never apologize for standing up for what I believe in. Then she told me she was proud of me. I don't think she'd ever said that to me before. My cousin told Uncle Bob, she actually wrote Uncle Bob here, that I had asked someone for help in planning how to make the argument. He told her I was a devious B word. I'll take that over stupid girl any day. Tell the internet people I said hi and that it didn't ruin Thanksgiving. It might have been the best one I've ever had. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.